First off, thanks for tuning in tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world, but instead you are here with me. I appreciate that. Today we'll primarily be focusing on getting set up correctly and managing your leads. As far as the update, if you wish BILT could do more, make sure to go to our website. Check this out. We have an idea section. It's brand new. If you go into BILTCRM.com, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see the ideas board, and that which will bring you to like a feedback center. But a quick overview before we get in. It does not matter what list you upload into our system, whether it's PropStream, Batch Leads, Deal Sauce, the County Tax Assessor, Redfin. There are some prerequisites, so keep that in mind. We need the ARV, we need mortgage information to be able to analyze deals. If you don't have the mortgage info, then of course you'll only be able to do cash deals. But if you want to be able to do creative as well, you need to have some mortgage info, or else everything's going to be considered as a seller finance or just a cash deal. If it does not have mortgage info, you will only be able to send cash deals, I repeat. I'm going to go over in a blank account, and I want to go through this because I want to show you guys how simple and how easy it is. And we kind of had made things easier for you guys as well. Right off the bat, I'm going to open up a brand new account that we just created. So right off the bat, this is a demo account, fresh. Everything is good to go on this. Everything is blank. This is what everybody gets when they first join the software, when they first join the system. You know, you can keep track of everything, all the deals that you're working on, how many LOIs you've submitted, what type of LOIs you've submitted, how many are negotiations, how many you've won and lost. And of course, you can see this on a quarterly and an annual period. To jump right in, you know, when you first get into the system, you might be overwhelmed. There's a lot of information inside of here. Today, we're going to be focusing on the main core system steps. Some of the other steps that has to do with data, and we're not a data provider, so do keep that in mind. Even though we provide tutorials for them, it is not our responsibility where you get your data from. Right off the bat, when you have a brand new account, the first thing you're going to want to do is go into your settings and business profile. This is where you're going to fill in information about your company, where your physical address is. You know, if you have a business email, a phone number, what niche you're in, you always want to select the real estate agency niche. This way, when you do apply for H2P registration for Twilio or text messaging, everything is good to go. If you don't plan on applying for that, this doesn't even really matter. The entire business page is irrelevant except for your friendly business name right here. For like your emails and such like that. But if you plan on doing text messages, it's really, really important to have all this, including your EIN information. You want to make sure that's accurate as well. Now, I do want to make a disclaimer. If you just created your LLC yesterday, you'll probably not get approved. You have to wait at least 2 weeks. Do keep that in mind. Inside of our general section down here at the bottom, if you take a screenshot of this and you use this for how you're setting up your account, just make sure that allow duplicate opportunity is on, gather intelligence on unknown phone numbers, verify email addresses when the first email is sent to a new contact, and of course, make sure this last one is on for email compliance as well. We will not be doing allow duplicate contacts, so keep that in mind. Don't be clicking anything extra at this point in time. Make sure everything is set up the exact same way. You can update your business website here, but right now at the moment we don't have one. And you might have one already using a different platform and so forth, but we're going to get into that right now. We're going to move on to the next step of literally just getting a domain and putting it inside of here, because it's that easy. Since you're already inside of your settings, what we needed to do is go to our domains, and we're going to see, oh, no domains are found. We're not going to be purchasing a domain. We prefer using GoDaddy or maybe Namecheap or something along those lines. So if right off the bat, if you go to your GoDaddy account and go to the home page, let's actually click on my products. I'm going to go over 2 things here. Number 1, setting up an actual website, and number 2 is going to be actually setting up your email accounts that you're going to be using to automatically start blasting. This will take 35 minutes to set up if you know how to use technology, so do keep that in mind. So the goal is to keep buying more domains as you scale. And so right off the bat, I bought this one today, and I have another demo on which we're going to use as well. So BILT Solutions I'm going to use for our website, and then BILT Demo we'll use for like email or whatever, and I'll buy another domain to show you the process as well. That being said, let's actually go buy one. If you just paste in a website, click on Find Domain, you want to find anything relevant to your business. So here we go, BILT Solution with a dash. I think that's fine. I'm not going to overthink this. You're going to use it for email marketing, just like a phone number, where if you use the phone number too much, you're going to end up throwing it away later on anyways. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this domain to the cart. Let's go to the cart right here. I do not want 3 years. I want it for 1 year. Why? Because we're probably going to throw it away within that time frame. So we're going to continue the cart, just go ahead and make a payment. No domain protection. We're not going to use the builder on the website. We're not going to set up any professional emails. Let's just go through this real quick. Again, I'm not going to click on any protection or any of this. Make sure it's $11.99. That's it. That's all you need. Ready for checkout and complete purchase. Going back to BILT right here, where it says connect to domain, what we're going to do is going to click on connect to domain. And then right here, we want to link it to our funnels, websites, and so forth. Later on, we'll do the email, but for now, at the moment, we're going to click on connect, get this domain right here. So if I go back to GoDaddy, it looks like this domain is yours. Cool. Let this thing build and do its thing. But we do have a domain that we bought, BILT Solutions, the one I bought earlier. So BILTsolutions.com. And let's just make sure it's the exact same one. So if we click on domain, now that we own this one, BILT Solution, I'm going to use this one for the email, so it's not that important. But I'm going to go to our domains, my account, domains, BILT Solutions. BILT Solution, continue. It's going to say, I also want to add. We want to say yes. We're going to add records manually. And so this is where I guess most people get confused, especially when they see the multiple A records found and stuff like that. This is your DNS settings. If you're inside of this domain, you're going to see DNS right here, and you're going to see, yes, there is a duplicate A record because GoDaddy decided to try to build us a website when we don't want it. And the same thing, you'll see some other CNAMEs in here as well. What we need to do is to delete this one that's right here. Therefore, we won't have a duplicate A record. We can kind of start from there. But what we're going to do is we're going to be creating 2 new records inside of this to make this our official domain and website. So let's connect this domain again, connect BILTsolution.com. Click on connect, add records manually. While this is loading, I'm going to go ahead and copy these records anyways. So we need to create an A record and a CNAME record. I'm going to add these new records, an A record, and then a CNAME record right here. We can go ahead and paste. So literally just copying and pasting from this point. So we copy the host, we're going to copy the value, we're going to go back, paste the value, and then we're going to go back again, take the CNAME right here, and we're going to copy. So we're going to save those records, record name www conflict, because there's one right here. So what we need to do is just delete this one. We don't need that. And let's try this again. And there we go. So now that's set up right there. If we go back to BILT, we're not going to be able to verify, of course, until this is troubleshooted. See if it, there we go. Click on verify. Might have to do it a few times. Do keep in mind, if GoDaddy didn't send that information that has been updated, it could take a few extra minutes. So notice here it says 30 seconds. Could be a little bit longer than that. But once this is set up, the only thing that's really left is to create more email accounts. And then, of course, we can link this to an actual website that we have inside of here. So if we click on website, the system does have websites pre-built for you. So for this example, I'm going to use the Creative Finance website, and we can take a look at that in a minute as well. So proceed to finish. So if we go to these sites right here, you'll see that we have the main websites have been a little bit more organized. If we go into the Creative Finance website, you're going to see this is the page right here. So notice right now, it's still not loading. It's because we just linked it. We're going to have to give it a few more minutes, but let's just see what's going on here. BILT Solutions. Make sure that's saved. Let's go back to the next step. The next stage is going to be your email services. In order to send offers in the system, note, we're doing cold email marketing. Cold email marketing, what does that mean? We cannot just send thousands and thousands of emails out from one email. We have to set a foundation. We have to pay attention to compliance, we have to pay attention to guidelines, we have to pay attention to all the email deliverability issues that might occur. And so in order to do this, we need to create our own dedicated domain in here. And that's why I went ahead and bought 2 domains in here so that we can set those up as well. Now, again, I am talking while I'm doing this, so I'm probably going a little bit slower, but just keep in mind the whole goal here is to make sure everybody knows what's going on. But let's go over here. So right now we have BILT Solution, and then of course we have the BILT CRM demo. Let's do the BILT CRM demo. Now, the reason why I'm using this one, this is an old domain that I had. So the problem with old domains is, number one, they were probably linked to a different system. You're going to see they already have certain, stuff in here, a bunch of email stuff as well. So when you have an old domain, if you know for sure that you're not going to use it, go ahead and just delete everything that you can delete, and then we can start from scratch. Now I think I had somebody the other day say that I said, oh, just go ahead and delete it, and they were using that domain and they kind of screwed up their email. So just be careful. If you're not using it, then delete everything. If you are using it for something else, don't delete things, right? Unless it specifically says that there's a duplicate. So now this is clean, brand new. If we go back over here, we're going to go ahead and click on that create dedicated domain. And if we didn't want to click on this, and instead we clicked on this, it would be the same exact thing. We'll just click on add domain right here. In this instance, we're going to be creating subdomains for our offers. So we're going to create subdomains, right? So there will always be something before the actual domain that we have. So if I go back, this is BILTcrmdemo.com, but if I click on it or copy it over and I paste it, we don't want this. Notice it's going to say use a subdomain instead of. So in this case, it will use LC, which stands for lead connector. And we're going to go for that. Again, you can put offers, right? You could put house, you can put homes, you can put sell, buy, you can put whatever word you want before the period here. But for this example, we're going to use LC. It's just easier. Go ahead and click on add and verify. And now again, the same thing that we did earlier where we copied and pasted DNS settings, we're going to do the exact same thing. So we're going to add records manually. And then we have these 5 records and there's one more. We're literally just going to copy this. So we need 2 TXT files, we need a CNAME, and we need 2 MX. If you're in GoDaddy, it's easy. You can create all of these at one time. Just go ahead and create all of these. So there's your 5. And then we're going to choose 2 TXTs. We're going to choose a CNAME. We're going to choose the MX, 2 of those. If you're using Namecheap or something else, you might have to do them one by one. So do keep that in mind. There's a reason why I like GoDaddy. You pay for what you get for. We're just going to copy this. We're going to paste it and literally do the same thing across the board. So just copy and paste everything over. I'm going to skip some steps here and paste these down here because they're the exact same value. Copy this, we'll paste that. Copy the email to LC, the CNAME, and of course get the value. And then of course here you're going to have priority. We're going to put 10. And then don't ask me why, that's just a requirement for our emails to trigger at a certain time. We're going to paste the values for these ones and paste that value here as well. We're going to save all records. Right away I can go back here and click on verify records. I don't really care about the statuses being verified at the moment, but I do care about this last TXT file that we were not able to insert because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 6th one. It didn't tell us, but it is a requirement to do. So we need a new TXT file for this DMARC right here, and I'm going to copy that over and add that new record. A TXT file, we're going to paste the DMARC here. Make sure there's no spaces before or after. Sometimes when you copy that happens and it will cause an issue. We'll copy that one as well and we'll go ahead and paste that right there. Click on save. Again, right here we're going to click on verify domain, and it might fail, and that's fine because we're doing it super fast, but you'll get this yellow, sometimes it'll be red. We want this to be green, so we're going to click on verify now. And notice how only some of them have been verified. We're going to click verify again. And let's see what happens. SSL issued. That is what we want to see. Now again, we did buy another domain, so we're going to do the same exact thing for our second domain. So if I go back here to our domains, and we got the BILT-solution one, we're going to do the same exact things. Now, it is recommended that when you first start out that you want to have at least 3 to start with, especially if a 9 to 5, you know, and stuff like that. Like, you want to make sure you have adequate amount of domains. 3 means 90 offers per day. In this instance right here, again, we need to delete that CNAME right here as well as that A record. We're going to go ahead and delete it so we don't have any duplicates ahead of time, and then we can get started. Let's go ahead and set up our 2 TXTs. We're going to set up our CNAME and then 2 MX records. If you are watching this on a recording, just know we went over it super slow. Now we're kind of going through it a little bit faster to show you how easy it is to set up. So we're going to click on add and verify, and once again we're just going to add records manually, and now we're going to copy them. So my 2 TXTs, CNAME and MXs have already been set up over there. I just need to go and paste them now. So we're going to take the value now, paste that, go back. And I get this all the time. Mo, you're going too fast. Slow it down on your end, okay? Bring it to half speed if you need to. But again, right, the goal is for you guys to also improve your guys' computer skills, learn how to use computers a little bit better as time goes by, so that you can be just as fast. All right, so last two right here. And then we're done and good to go for this. All right, save all records. And then lastly, we have that sixth record. Once we hit verify records, we need to create a TXT for the DMARC. I'm going to copy that one and click on add new record for a TXT. Paste the DMARC again, make sure there's no spaces there. And then we're going to copy that, paste the value, click on save, and let's click on verify domain. Let's see what happens this time. All right, once again, it's yellow. Click on verify now. And again, if it still stays, you know, yellow or unverified, just go back and click verify again. So there we go. Now we got these two email domains inside of here, meaning we can start sending offers with these, but first we need to actually create the marketing users. In order to create the marketing users, we want to take one of these and we need to go to the staff section and create a marketing user. Click on add user at the top. Click on add user. Let's just say Mo's that one. I'm just gonna name it M as marketing user, so I know that's a marketing user one. And then again, I'm gonna choose Mo as the email, and I'm going to paste the exact subdomain, so LC dot and whatever that domain was. And so now that I have that there, again, you want to make sure you have a signature and so forth in here, and these are checked on. Regards, Mo, Amin. And then maybe you have your website, BILT.com, and then maybe you have phone number or something. So you can put whatever you want in here. Click on next, click on save, and now one marketing user is created. It's that simple. So again, we're going to create the second one because we need to create both at the same time. And again, let's go ahead and paste this signature real quick. You can make it fancy and do whatever you want down there, but Mo, and then last name, again, I'll just use M, so I know it's a marketing account. Email here will be Mo, and then go back to email services, and go dedicated domain and IP, and copy this second email over. I'll go ahead and paste it in, so lc.built-solution, and then there we go, we have our second marketing user ready to go. Now that this is done, the only step you have to actually start running this is just updating the automation so it round robins between the two, which you can find in automations, BILT 2.0, acquisition pipeline, go to new leads, and then of course new leads 2.0 right here. You'll see that there's an assign to user. This is where we want to make sure, notice how as a template, we remove that and we choose our two marketing users. And the moment we choose our two marketing users, it's going to split the traffic equally, meaning we're now capable of sending 60 offers per day. Each domain can send 30, so that's 60 offers per day. If I click on save now and save, we are officially done. So technically we could start uploading contacts right now and start sending offers inside of the system. Since as I promised before, there has been a new automation that we created for you guys to make your life easier, so when the new leads come in, you don't have to shift them one by one to the interested send offer. Instead, now all you have to do is just edit the same automation that was in that same folder. So BILT 2.0 acquisitions pipeline new leads, there's this auto send offers, which is in draft. If you want to learn how to use it, you just go inside of it and you basically do like a quick calculation. You say, okay, well, I have two domains, meaning I can send 60 offers. So you notice that there's two intervals here. You have the daily and you have the intervals. Inside the daily, you need to limit it to the certain batch size. So for example, we have two, so that's 60 offers we can send out per day, and therefore it'll limit it and it'll automatically send those offers for you without you moving them across the pipeline. Again, this is up to you if you want to set this up, but you would click on save. You don't really have to mess with the drip mode intervals. That's just set up for you, and you don't have to mess with anything else. But just to kind of give you an explanation as well, what happens is anytime you upload a new lead into the pipeline under new untouched and it has the tag property lead, it will send the offer for you. If you don't want this turned on, do not turn it on. So do keep that in mind. I'm not going to publish this at this moment, but if you do want it on, you would hit publish after you update the daily drip. But that's the cool new feature that everybody's been wanting. Now this account is officially set up. The only thing we have to do now is upload data, right? Now, again, like I said before, we are not a data provider. I will pull up a list of data to show you guys the prerequisites and what's important. So if we take a look at this, this is a list of data. I believe this one's from batch leads. You know, again, headers might be labeled a little bit differently and so forth. The most important thing here is, do we have the street, city, state, postal code? Do we have the agent or seller's first and last name, and then their email address, right? Phone number is cool to have too if you plan on calling or texting, but for the purpose of LOIs, we want to make sure we have emails. So some prerequisites as well. If you want to be able to calculate cash deals, well, we need to have at least square feet and ARV. If you do not have that, well, you can't calculate cash deals. Asking price and PITI and rent is all, if applicable. It's just good to see. Like, asking price would be on market. If it was a direct to seller lead, you wouldn't even have this at all. So do keep that in mind. And the next thing is, if you want to do creative finance deals, well, you want to make sure you have mortgage balance or loan balances or whatever you want to call it, to estimate like what percentage of equity they have in the property. So mortgage information is a requirement, plus the ARV, of course, to determine our creative finance deals. So do make sure your data has that. Now, and then last thing we want to make sure we have is this last tag, which is the last column on. We need to specify whether it's on market or off market. Now, if your leads are off market leads, direct to seller, just change this to off market, right? And then just drag this down, right? It doesn't really matter. This is an example. Of course, you would select all of them and make sure they're on market. The reason being is because our system needs to understand whether, if this is on market or off market, should we use our offer templates for our off market direct to seller or on market agent templates, right? And so that's why we kind of want to specify. Of course, you have the option of skipping this step and just adding the tag manually later, but just keep that in mind. You just want to add this column in there. If it has a property type, it's good to know. You don't always have to have it. Again, there's some stuff in here that's not really mandatory, but I will highlight the things for you guys right now, since, you know, we can use this for reference. Let's just say we have all of this. Let's just say I highlight this one yellow, mandatory. And then of course, if you're doing creative finance as well, you want to at least have, I mean, even these are not really mandatory, the rates and stuff, but at least the loan balance, and of course the on off market. These are the mandatory fields, right, that you want to have. Now this one that we mentioned earlier, you are going to manually enter it. Okay, you just type it up on /off market and drag down the list to off market or on market. But those are the requirements for uploading any kind of data. Download this as a CSV file, because we're actually going to use this to upload the list right now. Because why not? And why don't we start sending offers immediately? If I go inside here now into our contacts, you'll be able to upload this list by going on import contacts. Make sure the contacts is selected, and then we're going to go ahead and click next. We're going to upload this list. Let's choose that one. And there's our list right here. Make sure it's set at create and update contacts. Leave everything else as is right here and go ahead and click next. For the most part, right now it's going to show everything is pretty much connected, with a few here that show pending. So if it's unmapped, you'll actually see under 2.0, we have step 6 goes full in depth, how to import and map contacts into your system. Not only is there a video, but there's this nice little spreadsheet checklist. So right here under uploading data into your CRM, since I'm using batch, we want to make sure these headers match our system. So this is BILT system mapping. This is how batch looks like. Prop stream right here, and batch leads and deal sauce and prop wire and house folios and all the other platforms, every single one of them have different headers. So of course we have to map them accordingly to our system. In order to basically allow other platforms to be used with us, we just need to keep that in mind. Now note, if you're using a different platform completely, for example, house folios, X leads, whatever that you're using, they're all the same thing at the end of the day. They're very similar to deal sauce. And we don't have that specific column for you. Just set up a Zoom with us and we'll walk you through it and give it to everyone else. So do keep that in mind. But going back to our setup right here under BILT, we just want to make sure everything is mapped. So postal code is postal code. you know, your state, city, city, street address is street address. And then down here, that's good. So email would be email. Square feet, we need to select in here square feet 2.0. And then ARV, we need to make sure we're selecting ARV 2.0. And then asking price 2.0. PITI looks like it already took it. It doesn't always take it, I think, because my headers are pretty accurate. And then this would be loan 1 balance, loan 1 type, and then of course loan 1 rate. So if you type in rate, you should be able to get it as well. And then here you have your property type. Make sure it's set at 2.0. And then of course you have your on/off market. Make sure it is the 2.0 and it has those spaces in between. But that's how you would map everything inside of our system. Again, you might have a ton of more data from wherever you get your data from. You might have a lot more data. These are the only ones that our system really cares about. Yes, you can upload more. Just keep that in mind that, you know, inside of here, we do have other information. We do have the country with the county, and we have asset classes, and we have on/off market, legal description, specialty. Like, we have so many custom fields built out for you guys, but really these are the only ones we need to actually evaluate the deal. Click on next, and right here you're going to find 2 checkboxes we need to check. And the very first one right here is really, really important. Notice earlier we updated our assigned contacts, our assigned marketing users to the one.new leads. Well, that's where we're going to actually put our leads into. We're going to actually run not only the upload, but we're going to run it through the automation simultaneously so that we can actually start evaluating the deal. And so as long as we select that, we'll be good to go. Now note, if you have different people inside of your system, for example, different acquisition people, you can clone this automation, rename it to them, make sure it's assigned specifically to them, and then you can upload leads specifically to them as well. We do have tutorials on that in there as well. The next thing is tags right here, really, really important. Is this list on market or off market? Let's just say it's on market for example purposes. Choose the on market. Is this data here agents or sellers? Since it's on market, let's just assume it's agents. And we're going to choose agent right here as well. I like to give it a certain tag so I know when the data was uploaded and who uploaded it. So let's just say Mo uploaded this on 06/10/2025, and this way I know I uploaded it on this certain date. So I created the new tag for it. But now that you've answered this completely right now, it's literally that simple. We're going to click on I confirm, and everything's ready to go. Start bulk import. But once it starts processing, it'll actually start showing in your smart list right here. But we don't care about our context. We care about the actual pipeline itself. And so notice how we're slowly start uploading our actual deals right now. And then it'll keep going. I think this list is like 200. The whole goal here is you'll start seeing, you know, number one, tags, right, are updating on these leads. But also at the same time, we'll be able to tell if you click on this button right here, manage fields, and click on acquisitions, you'll look at the deal type, and you can also choose, uncheck that one, on/off market, so we can check the status and confirm that. And so we can start seeing that already our deals right now are showing as hybrid, sub-2s. For the most part, depending on how long the list is, give it like 5 minutes and you're good to go. If you have a list of like thousands and thousands, then go make yourself a cup of coffee and come back, and by then everything should be good to go. So right now we still only got 80 properties. Notice in here it's already starting to calculate a value. This value is basically potential opportunity value, right? It's really, really important. If you go to your dashboard, you know, you'll start seeing your new untouched leads are slowly increasing, right? And that's really important. Going back over here, let's say this is a sub-2. Let's actually open it up. If I open this up, it's acquisitions, sub-2. And of course, ARV is ready right here, asking price, the PITI. If it had rent, it would have populated as well. Here's the equity percentage, automatically calculated. How much money we're giving down on this creative deal, because this is a sub-2 deal. It's basically got no equity. So cash down, we have a discounted or additional cash down for our discount offer, the mortgage takeover. Notice how seller finance is negative. That's why I didn't take it as a seller finance. It took it as a sub-2. So don't send the hybrid one that's right here. Keep it at the sub-2. But in the case that you wanted to not send a sub-2 and you wanted to switch it to cash or anything else, you could do so at this moment. taking, let's say, this sub-2 deal and shifting over to interested send offer, and it's actually going to send the offer within 3 minutes. But now that that's pushed through, you'll see, oh, BILT Investment Solutions sent an offer to Lindsay. What does it look like? Here's your principal balance takeover. Here's the cash to the seller. Here's the signature that I typed up randomly. Everything populated immediately. Now, again, is this pretty? No, you want to customize this offer, right, to make it your own version. The account's ready to go. Data has been uploaded. We already set up 2 email accounts. We're able to send 60 offers per day right now, and everything's ready to go. How to set up your account, how to import your system, how to manage, the acquisition pipeline, how to update the email templates and stuff like that. There really isn't anything you need to do else in the system besides start responding to people that respond positively on your leads inside of the system, right? Remember, I'm here to help everyone get started and close their first deal or close more deals using BILT. However, if you don't take action, I can't fix that mindset. If you're not willing to learn or upgrade yourself or to be better or change how you currently operate, then there is nothing that I can do for you.